Week 8 of fantasy football is in the books, and wow, what a roller coaster. From breakout stars to major busts, clutch performances to heartbreaking injuries, this week gave us plenty to talk about. In this video, we're breaking down the biggest takeaways you need to know heading into Week 9. Who's rising, who's falling, and how to get ahead in your league. Let's dive in. Number 1, Jonathan Taylor. He is currently ranked as the running back 1 on the season after scoring 37.4 fantasy points in Week 8. That makes it his second straight 30-plus point game and his fourth on the season. Number 2 is CJ Stroud, and in his second 20-plus point game of the season, Stroud had around 22 fantasy points. He also proved his rushing upside by running for 30 yards on a season-best 7 carries. Number 3 is Drake Maye, who's currently ranked as the quarterback 3, and his rookie season has been exceptional. This week wasn't an exception, with his third best game all season with 26 fantasy points. Also, he has had over 20 fantasy points in 5 out of 8 games and an average of 6 rushes for 31 yards per game, proving that he is an elite rushing quarterback. Number 4 is Joe Flacco. Flacco has been incredible since he was traded to the Bengals. In that span, he has averaged a little less than 23 points per game. The only worry is that he was briefly injured in the fourth quarter, but he returned before the end of the game, so Flacco should be all right. Number 5 is Troy Franklin, and he had his second boom game of the season with 27 fantasy points. Also, he had a season-best 2 touchdowns, which brings his average up to 12 points per game and puts him at the wide receiver 23 rank. Next up is number 6, Baker Mayfield, and even though he's still the quarterback 9, he only scored 4 fantasy points in his worst game of the season. This is his third straight game with a decreasing point total, which is a bad sign for his fantasy outlook. Number 7 is Rico Dowdle, and after scoring 30 fantasy points while Chuba Hubbard was injured, Dowdle has struggled now that Hubbard is back. This week, he had a bust week with only 5 fantasy points. Number 8 is Caleb Williams, and after starting off the season pretty well with an average of 23 fantasy points per game, he has struggled since, only scoring 12. This game was a little below that average with 11.8. Number 9 is Emeka Egbuka, who got injured in Week 6, and since then he hasn't been the same, only averaging about 7 points per game after his injury. This game is a little below this average. He only scored 6.5. Number 10, injuries. Number 1 is Cam Scatabo, who has an ankle injury and is out for season. Number 2 is Quinshon Judkins, who has a shoulder injury and will miss a couple of games. And number 3 is Saquon Barkley, who has a groin injury and he should return by Week 9. That wraps up our Week 8 fantasy football takeaways. As always, stay sharp, stay active on the waiver wire, and keep an eye on those matchups heading into Week 9. If you got value from this breakdown, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss next week's recap. Good luck setting those lineups. See you in Week 9.